put yourself on mute. Thank you so very much. Okay, so we're back to you, Dr. Young.
All right, so let me go ahead and hide these meeting controls. Yeah. All right. So the very first step here, you guys hearing me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So the very first step in the very first tip today, rather, is knowing your target audience. Now, this is where you identify the type of companies or brands that may be interested in sponsoring you based on your patent category, your platform, or and target mark target market or audience. Secondly, you create a comprehensive sponsorship proposal. Now, your sponsorship proposal should include details about the pageant, your background, and what you intend to achieve if you win. It should also include a section that highlights what potential sponsors stand to gain from sponsoring you. In this section, you should detail the benefits of sponsoring you, such as increased visibility and exposure, and we'll touch base on that as we go further in the presentation, goodwill, and networking opportunities. Now, this sponsorship proposal, one has been carefully crafted for you already, so there is no need to baffle yourself with how you're going to have that um, done. And we'll go through that likewise in this presentation as well. So the next thing you want to do after creating your sponsorship proposal, you want to research potential sponsors. Now, in researching your potential sponsors, it is encouraged that you make a list of sponsors that align with the values and goals of the pageant. I suggest that you look for businesses and or individuals that are likely to be interested in supporting you and your personal brand and your pageant platforms. After you have researched your potential sponsors, it is also encouraged that you start to make your connections. Now, reach out to your network. Your network may include your friends, your families, mentors, and local businesses that you may have a connection with, right? And also that may have connections to companies and or brands that would be interested in sponsoring you. Now, when you reach out to potential sponsors, you want to be professional and clear about what it is exactly that you're asking for. So you can begin by sending emails, making phone calls, and or scheduling meetings to discuss the opportunity further. Be sure to follow up after the initial contact and keep track of all communications in a spreadsheet or document. Now, guys, it is a known fact that once you want to get something done, it is easier to call a person because most business persons don't have the time to respond to text messages as such. But if you call them, they'll answer. So it's in making your connections. You want to keep a documentation of what you call about, and so that when you're doing your following up, you have that information. This may be on a spreadsheet or even a Word document just to keep track of everything, right? So remember that sponsorship is a two-way street. So if you ask for something, of course, me as a sponsor would like to know what can you offer me in return. So as I said, sponsorship is a two-way street. So when you're offering something in return, it can be something like promotional opportunities, event tickets, or exclusive access to these events. The more you can offer in return, the more likely your potential sponsor will be interested in supporting you. Now, along with the sponsorship proposal, a detachable ticket will be paired along with this letter. So this letter is for you to extend an invite to your sponsor to come and show, come and watch your showcase on the night of the pageant, and also, just for them to get a chance to come to the pageant itself. So note briefly that this ticket must not be photocopied or tampered with in any or duplicated in any way, shape, or form, failure to adhere, then we'll be forced to take legal actions. Point blank. No take backs. Is that understood? Can you unmute and let me know that you understand or indicate by raising your hands in the chat?
Understood.
That's one. All
Understand.
right. All right. I see your hands. I see your hand, Huntley. I see your hand.
Understood.
That's good. Thank you so much. What about you,
Could you
Ricky?
just repeat one more time?
Where would you like for me to repeat?
Because I think I chipped out for a minute. I remember hearing something about legal action, and I was like, wait, what just happened? So what
right.
shouldn't we copy exactly?
So along with the letter that you will be given, the sponsorship letter, there will be an attached ticket for you to invite your sponsor to the event.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
So
got it. That's clear.
if I could just interject a little bit, what we were asking you to do at one point in time, we had thought that you should print the letter and give it to your sponsor, but we have thought better of it, right? So do not do that. Rather, send the letter to your sponsor by email or by WhatsApp or whatever it is, right? So that when the sponsor arrives at the event, the sponsor just needs to show the letter on his or her phone. You
Okay,
understand what we're
got
saying?
it.
Exactly.
Clear.
Okay, very cool.
All right, good. Now that we have some understanding, let's move on. Right. So we're leveraging social media. Now, as we know, we're in a digital age, guys. We of course need, we're on most, if not all, social platforms. It's encouraged that you promote yourself on social media platforms and showcase your pageant journey to attract potential sponsors. Now, further along the line, you'll be assigned to create an outline, an online promotional piece rather, that your sponsors will be able to use whenever. So that would be you showing, helping your the brand that you'll be representing, you leveraging your social media platforms to engage online clients and bring about visibility to your sponsor. It is always encouraged that once you get your sponsor, it is encouraged that you keep your sponsor updated, regardless. So if you're doing good, then you let your sponsor know. If there's anything, it fosters a relationship. So once you secure the sponsor, keep them updated on your progress and successes leading up to the pageant. This will help you maintain a positive relationship and increase the likelihood for you to get future support. All right. So now that you have an idea of how to get a sponsor, let's talk about how a brand will benefit from your ambassadorship as a pageant contestant. You have a platform to showcase a brand's message, values, and products to a wide audience. Now, here are a few ways that a brand can benefit from sponsoring you. So remember, the first thing I said, guys, is that it is a two-way street. So it's give to get and get to give. Of course, if you ask for sponsorship from anybody, they're going to want to know what you can offer them that would be to their benefit. So the three key things that we'll be focusing on is increased visibility. Of course, as a business, whether or not as small businesses need as much visibility as they can get. Local businesses need as much visibility as they can get. So as an ambassador for the brand, you can help increase their visibility through your social media channels, media appearances, and public events. So I'm not sure if all of you are paying attention, but this is a strategy that party planners have used in order to promote their parties. They have people attend parties in wearing the branded party outfits so that people can see them. So that is how they increase their visibility. So in order to get support, you have to give support. So the next thing is target marketing. You know, pageant contestants typically have a niche audience. So you already have an audience, right, guys? So the moment that you join a pageant, you already have the audience that you'll be working with, or working towards getting. So by you getting sponsored by your sponsor, your brands literally can access your target audience and tailor their marketing efforts to reach the right people. So they don't really have to do much. Once they get in there and even being attached to the AndWar name, they start to get that visibility. So you're already meeting people already. So the more their little name gets out there, it's the better it is, right? To getting towards a big name. Now we move on to credibility. And while I'm going, if there's any questions that you have, just indicate real quick and we can get to the questions. Now, as a pageant contestant, yet again, you're already seen as credible and a respected individual. Your endorsement of a brand can help build their credibility and trust with potential sponsors. Good. So, guys, once again, sponsorship can be a game changer for your pageant journey. And by following these very profound tips and understanding the benefits of your ambassadorship, you can secure a sponsor and make a positive impact on a brand's success. Good. So we're going to be moving on quite quickly to how do we become a brand ambassador. So you as contestants, you are all representatives of your communities, and your actions and behaviors reflect on your chosen platform and sponsors. So I'll be sharing with you some tips on how you can become an effective brand ambassador. Because I think this is very important for us all to note, that being a brand ambassador is not just me posting about a business online or using my TikTok to promote a business or a brand or something that the brand that I support has. It's so much more than that. Good. So the first thing, it is essential to understand the brand that you are representing. It is encouraged that you learn as much as you possibly can about the brand's mission, the values, and the target audience. You are also encouraged to know their products or services and the unique features that differentiate them from their competitors. This understanding will help you to communicate more effectively with your followers and fans, and it will enable you to tailor your messaging to their needs and interests. So learn as much as you remember in choosing the brand that you'll be representing. It is encouraged that you choose one that you can align yourself with, that you have no problem representing, and that the morals and the ethics of this brand that you'll be representing is aligned with what you stand for. So it wouldn't come at any cost for you to learn what the brand is about and how you can and what your ambassadorship can do to boost that brand and get it becoming visible. Good. Are there any questions? All right, no questions. So the next thing that we are going to be focusing on is always being professional and acting with integrity. As a brand ambassador, you are expected to always maintain a positive image, and this includes in your personal life, on social media, and during public appearances. Remember that your actions can impact the brand's reputation So always act in a manner that aligns with the brand's values and ethics. So as a brand ambassador and you acting with professionalism, I would want to know that I am scrolling on Instagram and seeing what is it, Cherise and Sabrina in an online squabble, cussing out each other, because I wouldn't deem that as professionalism. The person with their mic that is unmuted, can we fix that, please? Thank you very much. And if there is any questions, you can hold them or just leave them in the chat and we'll get to them once it's that time. Thirdly, it is encouraged that you be authentic and genuine. Your audience will be able to tell if you're not being true to yourself, and this can harm your brand's image. You're also encouraged to speak from your heart, share your personal experiences that aligns with the brand's morals, values, and mission. Always be honest and transparent at all times. It is always encouraged, because we don't just want you to put on a front for pageant's sake. We want you to be your genuine, authentic selves. Cool? Good. Fourthly, a lot of persons.
I'm sorry to cut you, but I just wanted to make a point. I hope you don't mind.
So Shanroy, I'm going to ask you to please hold your comment until the end. When you're ready to
Oh,
make your
I'm
comment.
sorry. Oh, you
Yes,
said
quite right.
something about that. I'm so sorry. I
Listen,
forgot.
it's all right. Please hold your question to the end. And I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. Raise your hands if you have questions at the end, and I'll take them in order. Thank you.
Yes, so sorry.
All right, Shanroy. All right, so fourthly, be a great listener. Now, a lot of us confuse hearing with listening. So you can hear something and not understand, but you can't listen something and not understand, because the two are different. Yeah, you can hear things and it doesn't register, it just goes over your ears. But once you listen for the point of what is being said, anything that you may deem important. So the most effective brand ambassadors know exactly how to listen to their followers and their fans. It's important to listen to feedback, respond to questions, and engage in conversations with your audience. So in audience engagement, your social media platform, you can use it for that. For example, people stitch comments on TikTok. So you post about your business, or your journey on the pageant, and a lot of persons will, general people will always have questions to ask. If I was supposed to be in a pageant, what would you suggest is important for me to do? And you can stitch that comment to your TikTok and you can respond to it. And that may very well help somebody on their journey and also increase your visibility, as that person may share the video as well. And likewise, in being a brand ambassador, you listening and carefully curating your responses to client-based questions makes it easier for you to be a brand ambassador. All right. So this not only helps to build a stronger relationship with your audience, but it also provides valuable insights for the brand. So lastly, it is encouraged that you be as creative and innovative as possible. So it's encouraged that you find new ways, find new and new, improved and unique ways to promote the brand and its products or services. Think outside of the box, come up with fresh ideas that will capture the attention of your audience. You are encouraged to utilize your social media platforms to showcase the brand in a new light, leverage your personal connections to bring new customers to the brand. To conclude this, Being a brand ambassador requires a high level of professionalism, authenticity, and creativity. By understanding the brand, acting with integrity, being genuine, listening to your audience, being innovative, you can effectively represent your platform and your sponsors and become a successful brand ambassador for the business that you are representing. So we're going to be moving on to handling the word no. Now, a lot of us, this is a very small yet powerful word, and a lot of us do not like to hear this word, right? But I have a 4-pointer so that we can use to handle this 2-letter word, which is most powerful. It rarely change in any language that you you encounter. So it's a word that most of us have heard and used multiple times in our lives, but sometimes hearing it can be a little bit daunting, especially when it's in regards to something that we really want. So you're going to hear this word more often than others. And so I just encourage you, I just encourage all I know, as soon as you hear it, you don't have to use it as a beat though, right? So firstly, it is essential to understand that hearing a no does not necessarily mean that you are not worthy or capable. Yes, it merely means that the person saying it has a different opinion, perspective, or needs than yours. So don't take it personally. It is not you why you hear no. It's just that based on the perspective, or probably it could be just the time frame that you went to talk and you just hear the no. Cool. Secondly, always remember that every no is an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. It is a chance to assess what went wrong, where you went wrong, what you could have done better, and how you can move forward. So embrace it as a challenge rather than a setback. It's always encouraged that you use this no as an opportunity to learn and grow and improve. So thirdly, practice resilience. You must understand that success is not linear. It's a journey filled with ups and downs. So with the journey to success, it's not always up from here. As you hear, some people will say it's just up from here. You have to expect that there are going to be some low blows, some pitfalls in all the rising that is happening. Please mute your mic. Thank you very much. So you're going to expect some pitfalls, right? So you must understand that it's a journey filled with ups and downs and a few no's along the way. But every time you hear a no, it's an opportunity for you to bounce back stronger and more determined. Keep a positive attitude and don't give up on your dreams. Lastly, use the no as a motivation. Every time you hear it, use it as a fuel to prove yourself and to others that you can achieve your goals. Remember, many successful people have faced rejection and obstacles before you and even before they reach their destination. So, in truth and in fact, you shouldn't let a no stop you from chasing your dreams. In conclusion, handling a no can be very challenging, but it's a skill that can be mastered with practice and resilience and determination. Stay positive, learn from the experience, use it as a motivation to achieve your goals. Good luck, and I wish you all the best on your journey ahead.
Thank you.
Also,
So go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So lastly, we have the sponsorship script that I have added to this, and I can go through it with you guys, but I'm sure we all can read, but I will still definitely go through. So it sounds a little bit like this, and you can read it as is to your business. So it goes like, for example, my name is Shavin, and I'm thrilled to have been given this opportunity to speak with you. After careful thought, I've decided to ask for your support in my feat to become the next, whatever the title is that you're vying for. Your support would mean the world to me and would be gravely appreciated. Competing, competing in a pageant requires a lot of time, effort, and dedication. But for me, it's more than just a competition. It's an opportunity to make a positive impact on my community and inspire others to do the same. That's why I'm here seeking your support to help me achieve my goals. As a pageant contestant, I have a platform to raise awareness about issues that are close to my heart. I am passionate I'm passionate about promoting whatever your cause may be. Maybe it can be child education or our children in general, the elderly, whatever your cause is. And I believe that with your sponsorship, I can make a real difference in the lives of people who need it the most. But I cannot do it alone. The cost of participating in a pageant can be quite high, with expenses like travel, wardrobe, and training. That's why I'm asking for your help today. With your sponsorship of $5,000, I can continue to pursue my dreams and make an impact in my community. And that brings us to the end of, in return, in return, I promise to represent your company with the utmost professionalism and grace. I will proudly wear your logo on a sash or stole for men and promote your brand on my social media channels. Your support would not only help me achieve my goals, but also provide a valuable opportunity for your company to reach a wider audience. And that brings us to the end of the presentations. And there is room now for questions.
All right. Thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. Truly appreciated. So this presentation is has been shared with you all in the main contestant group. So I would encourage you all to review it at your leisure and to incorporate the elements of it that you feel most comfortable using. No, this is a shell, a template, as it were, for you to be able to use if you need to use it. You can read this as he has provided, with some minor tweaks to fit however you want to phrase things, okay? But feel free to use it. I see someone, iPhone, I'm not quite sure who that is, but can you tell me who you are and go right ahead? Who's the iPhone with the hand raised? Hello? Who's the iPhone with the hand raised? Uh, Not quite sure who that was. Okay. Let's see who else is in here. Shanroy, you had a question. Why don't you share that question, please, or a comment?
Yes. So I just actually wanted to make a point and ask a question, but okay, I'm just going to just make a point. The gentleman was saying something earlier about this sponsor, and I said I agree with him because we need to always ensure that we represent the sponsors well, because we don't want to do anything to embarrass the sponsor or to embarrass the brand and to embarrass the organization as well, because we are also selling the company based on how we conduct ourselves. So I completely understand what he's saying, because they are putting their trust in us. So we have to ensure that, we have our heads on our bodies and we know what we are doing.
Very well said, sir. Very, very well said indeed. All right. I see another question in here from Ms. Dowdy. The question is, how do you go about choosing the title you're vying for and understand more about each title? Well, at this particular level, all of you are vying for the regional king or regional queen of your region. So that's the title that you would mention at this particular level, right? And you can also speak to the fact that you are looking forward to representing Jamaica on an international stage if and when you get past the regional selections. So that's where you would want to say. In terms of the pageants that you could potentially go to or competitions you could potentially go to, for this gentleman, it's Mr. International competition. And for the young women, it is a series of different competitions that you could potentially go to. One of them is the Miss International competition. You may also be going to the Miss Intercontinental competition, or you may be going to the Miss Global competition. Those are the three that we are using at this particular juncture. Mr. Black, your question, please.
Oh yeah, that is something I wanted to ask you regarding the male, because I was doing some research the other day and I saw that there are multiple different male pageants. You have Mr. Global, Mr. Supranational, Mr. Grand International. So what you said, it was just Mr. Supranational only?
Mr. International.
Oh, that one. So okay, all right. That's what I wanted to. I wanted to ask you, but it kept it. I totally forgot.
That's quite all right, no problem. I think the idea is to start with one competition this year for the gentlemen, because this is our first year dealing with you all, and we want to see how well it goes. So the gentleman who wins this year is going to have a really premier task, because he will be the very first Mr. Imperial, so for Jamaica. So that's a pretty big role. So yes, Mr. Shanroy Palmer, you're next.
Yes, so I just remembered my question. My question is, so the male pageant that you just spoke about, could you kindly give us the name?
The Mr. International pageant.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
You're very welcome, no problem. Any other questions? Please raise your hands. Any more questions for Chavain? If you have no questions for Dr. Young, it means that he did a good job, and I can't have that. He can't think he did a good job. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right.
Wow.
No, you did a splendid job. I can't even front. You did a good job. And it's evident by the fact that there aren't any questions. It means that everybody understood everything you had to impart, and it's a beautiful thing. One more chance, folks. Is there anybody who has a question about?
Oh, I had a question. Yes, one more question.
Yes, Mr.
Of
Palmer.
that.
Yes, so my question was, so during the introduction, we are going to obviously mention the sponsor, right?
You mean at the night of the pageant, sir? Night of the competition?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Of course, because you'll be wearing somebody's stole, right? Yes. So you would need to tell them who you're representing. Yes.
Okay, and when will we be doing our promotional videos?
So you'll begin doing your promotional video as soon as you find your sponsor, because your promotional video will be due for grading about 2 weeks before your final competition. 2 or 3 weeks before your final competition, but the dates will be provided to you. The folks in Region 1 already have their dates. Regions 2, 3, 4, and 5, your competitions have been moved to May to give you all a little bit more time. So your dates will be finalized shortly, and you'll be getting your new schedule shortly. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, Mr. Gladstone.
All right. Good night, Andrew. Good night, everyone. I joined a little late. I must apologize for that firstly. But the question I was looking to ask, in terms of sponsorship, must it come from, say, corporate Jamaica? So it has to be a business place?
So we do not put many restrictions on the type of business enterprise you might approach. You can approach a for-profit enterprise or a not-for-profit enterprise, anything that aligns with your value, right? Your values. So you want to do that. It'll make it easier for you to promote their product if you're aligned with what they're doing.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, there's another question that was posted in the group. Good night, everyone. You're Mr. Reynolds speaking. Marketing manager. So let me say that. I got a question from Jessica. She was saying, if you have more than one sponsor, how do we go about that? My answer to you, Jessica, would have been, for now, you choose the one that you want to sponsor you for the regional pageant. As everyone should know, that when you go to the national pageant, that the sponsorship fee that will be given then can be a combination of sponsorship fees that different companies or yourself pile up to pay that fee when you reach to that part. So you can leave one sponsor or two more sponsors for that bridge when you make it to the national. For now, you can just use the one that you're more in line with or more passionate about, I would say. Mr. Harris
All
probably
right.
has something else to say
Yeah.
about that, but that's what I would have said.
I think that that's a clear enough response. I think I'll sum it up by saying at the regional level, you only really need one sponsor. But if you're wise, you will be looking ahead to your national participation, because at that time, you will need about 6 sponsors at the same level to get you to what you need to enter the national pageant. And the reason that the national pageant number is a bigger, different number is that there's so many other things associated with it. You all get wardrobe elements again, brand new outfits or pieces of outfit. And you also have a hotel stay that will be required for your participation in the national pageant. So you'll be staying overnight at a hotel during the preliminary competition and the final night. And for some of you who, I'm sorry?
The makeup care packages.
Yes, you'll be getting makeup, both for gentlemen and women, because gentlemen, you do need to make sure you're not walking on stage with oily faces and all kinds of things. So you'll need powder and all kinds of other kinds of products to assist you in making sure you look your best on the night. There is a field trip that those of you who are fortunate enough to make the nationals will also be getting. So there are plenty of things that that sponsorship will go towards. So that's the reason that number is different. And so, as was mentioned, if you are looking forward to where you'll end up in a few weeks from now, you'll be trying to make the alliances that Dr. Young talked about to ensure that you have multiple sponsors available to assist you at that time. All right.
Yes, guys, and it's also important to note that as much as you can get them, put them down in a bag, have them to call on as backup. You're going to need as much support as you can get.
Exactly. Very, very well said. Very, very well said. And you also, of course, need to continue to maintain the relationships that you're building with these brands. You want to continue to communicate with them. You want to make sure that they know, send an email once a week, letting them know what's happening or whatever it is, that little brief update, they'll appreciate it. A few sentences go a very, very long way. You don't have to spend a whole paragraph for 10 paragraphs describing anything. Just a quick note thanking them for their assistance, saying, here's a brief update, blah, blah, blah. And that's all you need to do once a week. Okay.
And may I add something? Hi, everybody. This is Raynar, creative director here. Please, like Andrew was saying, make sure at least once a week you are engaging with the sponsors directly, but also if you can even probably show up at the business place sometimes and maybe even take a photo with the product and post it on the page. Or so, I mean, this is completely outside of the deliverable, which is the assignment that will come at the end of your training and everything. But you know, make them feel engaged, make them feel involved in the process by, you know, engaging them, including them in your personal social media content that you're posting up. So this also goes back to the whole thing about making sure your pages, your social media pages are curated and have a professional look, because anything that is negative on your page might reflect badly on your sponsor. So just ensure that whatever it is that you're doing, your pages are clean. And when it is that you're promoting these sponsors, just ensure that you give them a highlight on your page and such, independently of the tasks that we're giving you to do. Because, you know, it's all good and well that yes, they're gonna get a video at the end of the whole session and everything, but I feel like the consistency and the engagement goes a long way, because remember that there's a second component to this. This is, remember, you're going to go to, well, some of you are going to go to nationals, and you may probably want to reapproach this sponsor. So once they see that you've been putting in the work behind your campaign, your personal campaign, as much as you are promoting yourself, promote them as well. So that when you go back to them for an even bigger sum that's going to be required of you to participate in nationals, at least they can see that, yes, you've been doing the work, you've been driving the train, and, you know, they'll say, all right, this is a good investment. It's a great investment. I'm happy to continue investing in this person.
Thank you, Raynor. Very, very good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this assignment that you've been given to do, right? What exactly is it? I'm going to call on Jerome just a little bit to just kind of, because he and I talked quite some length about it a few days ago. And just to kind of engage with each other so you have an idea of what this this assignment is all about. So basically, you know, the idea is to identify the one primary product that business has, right? You have 60 seconds to promote a particular product or service or whatever it is that company is doing. You want to excite demand in the people who are looking at your promotion. You want to get them to do an action. After they see your promotion, they need to do something with it, right? So it's kind of like looking at an ad for KFC. You look at that ad for KFC and all of a sudden your mouth starts watering and you are getting up to go to KFC. That ad has caused you to take an action. Or it plants a seed in your mind so that when you're driving down the road and you see the KFC sign, you want to turn left into the parking lot to go get some. That ad has caused you to take an action. And that's the same kind of thing you want to do for your sponsor. Develop a promo that allows you to your viewers to take an action. Okay? Jerome, any other things you'd like to add in addition to that?
Sorry about that. I was talking on my mic was muted.
No worries.
Yeah, but the only addition, I think I would say, otherwise from exciting the demand or the value for the product, is be very creative. While I was doing an exercise with some of the persons in Region 1 the other day, I was just surprised at how creative, just by the use of the jargons, you know, the different words and the different figures of speech and the expression, dialogue and stuff like that. Ensure that whatever you're presenting, because you'll be doing a 60-second video presentation, think about what you can use to capture um, the audience or the viewer in legit 5 seconds. What action could you do with this product from a particular company that will give the flow or create the emphasis on value demand that you're going for? So it can be legit sipping the water, saying something. It creates this from that and that airy, this burst. I'm feeling like, it seemed refreshing. Like, sure man, like I want that. By using creative jingles. So there was this example that I think Colin gave, and he created this rhyme about this flow credit, and for the whole night we laughed at it because it was still in our minds. Um, and it was effective because we heard it for about 5 times, and because of the repetition of whatever that was, like, I felt like I needed to buy a flow credit. So essentially, when creating an ad, you want to ensure that it has the elements to get value or demand, and that can be, comparison of prices, you tapping into that affordability aspect of the product, or it can just be the packaging of the product. It can be the great the advantage of that product compared to other brands outside, and it can be just that Jamaican element to the product that makes it stands out. Product or service that makes it stands out, because some of you guys will have service businesses, and some of you guys will have uh goods businesses. So whatever it is, you just want to ensure that you are creating something that's going to cause action and cause somebody to take action into buying the product. It can be very short, very spicy, but one of them that you should take is for it to be effective. At the end of it, ask yourself, does this create value? Does this create demand? Does this make me feel like I want to act and take action? Cool. So ensure that it has one or two of those or three of those elements. Um, yes, I think that's the only other that's the thing that I would add. And just be creative. Again, you guys are requested to do a 60-second video presentation. This can be oral or using videos. You make it and make it whatever you want it to be, and present that and submit it whenever your region would have asked you to. For my region, what I've done to help them is that while drafting their script, I asked them to send me preliminary of what that looks like so that I can help to point them in the direction. I know that your advisors for the other region would be willing to help you guys too. So, anything that you don't understand or not clear of, don't be afraid to text in your group or group for some assistance. All right. Because we know everybody will need a little push, a little help sometimes along the way to get them to where they need to go. So we're very much about that. So as best as possible, ask questions and you'll get the help that you need. But
Yes.
first, find that sponsor. Find
And
that
if you need,
sponsor.
oh, go ahead.
I'm finishing. So I'm saying find that sponsor, find the product, create demand for the product, show us the value of the product, and make us take the action that you need to purchase this product. Cool.
Mhm. And of course, if you need help with any of the technical specifications, my inbox is open. Reach out to me. So if you need help with understanding how to shoot the video, how to light the video, how to edit the video, all of that, just send me a message if anything, and I will help to walk you through it. All right.
Thank you,
Hi,
Ray.
excuse me.
Hey, Tiffany.
Hi. Could you
Hi.
just go over what you said about the video that we are supposed to make? Because I missed that part. I left the group
Who
in error at that point.
who you want to go over, Tiffany? Me or Mr. Harris?
No, you can go by
Me
Jerome.
either.
You
Doesn't
can
really
go.
matter.
You can go by Jerome. That's fine.
Yeah, please and thanks.
Okay, Tiff. All right, so it's similar to what we were talking about the other night, Tiff, where For the video presentation, it will be a 60-second presentation with your own creative twist, showcasing the product of the sponsorship company that you've selected. Your aim is to show the value for the product, create demand for the product, and cause the viewers or the customers to take action for that product. So it's 3 simple steps. In those 3 steps, you can use your own creative juices. You can use literary devices, jingles, current affairs, things that are current, things that make sense to what is happening in our society now, things that will, from you hear somebody say one phrase, if somebody say, "Now I'm a lie," everybody know what that means. So, except Andrew. But
what you know about Andrew, sir?
but once you
Andrew's
say,
very much plugged in.
like it's a springtime, normal a lie, we don't know, say, all right, then springtime are the new thing where young people are used to wash them plate. You understand? Take away the dirt, take away the grease. Look on this, watch this. Show like a springtime, quick, the thing clean or whatever you want to use. You're allowed to use the acrylic, the basilic, your own English, your own Creole, putting it mesolect, making it one, do what that is authentic to your creativity, but ensure that you are hitting the nail on the head as it relates to the value of the product, the demand of the product, and the effectiveness for someone to take action. Like, why would I want to buy this? Just think about it. When you think about whatever that goods or service is, why do I want to purchase this? And then you expound that in a way that is simple and clear to the viewer.
Even better, remember that we're competing in viral spaces. So, social media content, if it doesn't go viral, where does it really go? So if you can find that one thing, if it means that you probably put a twist in there, I mean, you can even incorporate some of your friends in there to like create a skit, so to speak, or a vlog kind of vibe. It could be a product review. It could be a scripted thing where, you dramatize it. Or, I mean, if it's just like an infomercial kind of vibe, maybe if you want to even go to the business place that's sponsoring you and speak with their marketing team or whomever it is that's in charge about what it is that they do, their services, but make it engaging in such a way that's also another kind of idea that you can probably take on.
All right.
Thank you.
My last thing will be, there's 2 markers for success in this. This is what I will say. Ensure that you grab the viewer's attention in 5 seconds.
That's first 5 seconds.
First 5 seconds is very important. And ensure that you use repetition in your video. Whatever
not too much, but
not too much, but in the sense that it's effective repetition. Again, this more likely will cause the consumer to react to whatever you're saying. And then just be creative. So that's that.
And this is why it will be important to run your scripts by Jerome or myself or even Andrew if possible. That we can help to guide you to make sure that you're following the right path. You're on the right path.
Okay, thank you. So what I'll encourage you to do is to use your regional leaders. Don't reach out to Jerome because you don't have time for everybody.
Well, true.
He has to be more focusing on his particular region. But please reach out to your regional leaders to get the feedback that you need, because all of them are just as good as Jerome. Anyway.
Even better.
They're even better than Jerome. Okay. All right. So please reach out to your regional leaders so that they can be of help to you. All right. I guess I'm just going to go through some things again that you should be doing. Please make sure to talk to your the leaders of your brand, whether the store managers or whatever it is.
Hold on, somebody needs to mute their mic. Please, somebody, whoever just joined, please mute your
Richards. Mic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. All right. So please make sure to have a conversation with your brand leaders and listen to what they're telling you. Listen to the key words, key phrases, key words that they use to describe their product, and try to incorporate those into your work. Please always be professional. When you're going around them, please dress yourself appropriately and conduct yourselves appropriately as you're with your brand leaders.
Yes.
Be authentic in yourselves. Be yourself. Do not go there and be no speaky, spooky, uppity, whatever it is. Just be you and give them your authentic self and put your
While still
authentic self.
presenting a professional side.
Yes, I mean, that goes without saying, right? Because you are representing a brand. You're no longer yourself. You're representing them. The moment you get there, a sponsorship, you are now them, right? Just as you will be when you win this competition, you're no longer yourself. You are now Jamaica, right? So this is why we're drilling this into your heads, right? And the last thing is to try to be as creative and as innovative as you can. Do not be cliche. Do not be trite. Do not do the norm, regular thing over and over again. Think outside the box. All right, Miss Dowdy, you're first, and then Miss White, you're next. You're muted if you're speaking, Miss Dowdy. All right, so not hearing Miss Dowdy right now. Let's go on to Miss White. You're next, please.
Hi. I hope
Hello.
everybody is okay. Just a quick question. When is Region 3's competition again?
It will be on the weekend of the 7th of May.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Miss Dowdy, you can lower your hand, please, Miss White. Miss Dowdy, your turn, please.
Good night again, everyone. I just want to know if your first sponsorship have to be in Jamaica.
No, Miss Dowdy, your sponsor may be anywhere on the planet.
Miss Dowdy rich, man.
You know, I feel like I like the idea of an international sponsor because I feel like it I don't know, there's something about, I feel like it's going to give you a little more.
Miss Dowdy, don't listen to him, yeah? Because you're not getting any more points for an
No,
international
I'm not
sponsor.
talking about point. I feel like it's more pressure.
Okay, sounds good.
You're welcome. No
Because
problem.
you'd be pitching to a different audience, because I'm supposing that your sponsor, if your sponsor is international, they might be sharing your video as well. And your video is gonna go out, so you know, to an international market. So no pressure,
Okay.
but pressure.
All right. So the other thing to
Okay.
think about is what this all means for you, right? The top 3 video presentations will be presented at the regional finals. So it's important that you try to do your best to make sure that yours is one of them. And also remembering that your project, this project, weighs pretty heavily on your score, right? So you may not be doing so well as you think, as you'd like in the regular homework stuff. Well, guess what? The regular homework stuff doesn't count as much as this one project that you're about to work on. So just bear in mind that it is a very substantial score. So please make sure to do your best at it. Mr. Gladstone.
Thank you for
Yes.
that, Andrew. Just another question. With regards to the video shoot itself, do we have constraints on the devices that we use? Are we able to use like a camera to record our video, or just mobile devices, phones?
So I would say please refrain from using professional equipment, because that would your access to resources will give you an edge over somebody who does not, and we do not wish to promote that. So please refrain from doing so. Kindly use mobile devices to do your recording.
On that
Thank you very
topic
much.
as well, Jerome, I should ask you what your recommendation is. Do you think they should record in portrait or landscape?
I was just gonna touch on that.
Definitely landscape.
I was just gonna touch on that. Here's what I will say. Go landscape, because landscape can always become portrait. What we'll do, I don't know, Rainer, if you remember, we created a little document for the Queens last year. What I think we can do is create a tweaked version and put it in a group so that they can have at least basic understanding of basic lighting, basic setup, what is landscape versus what is portrait. So we have a little document that we created. So I think we can forward that to you guys so that you have a understand. Because I know that everybody don't understand what I say. Because our Monique Blake right now, she good way. I said, Jesus, the way I chat foolishness. But we'll send it to you so that you can have that understanding. All right, cool.
Oh goodness, don't call out Monique. Monique probably knows more about this than you could ever possibly imagine. So you leave her alone. Anyway, yes, so that is that. Final opportunity for questions at this particular juncture on this issue. All right, no hands raised, so I think we are done with that point for the moment. All right, the last thing I really want to talk about, well, not the last thing, but one thing before last, is just give you a little insight into AndWar and what we're about and all of that. And then I'll speak a little bit about the assignment that you are to turn in tomorrow, okay? All right, so AndWar International has been around for about 4 years now. We started in 2019, and we have been sending and preparing and grooming individuals to represent Jamaica since then. But even prior to that, we have been doing individual kinds of training and coaching for many, 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 many years. Ms. Chen, Raquel Chen, who is on the line here, has been coaching individuals in runway and etiquette and styling and all these other elements of this craft for a very, very long time. And I have been at it since, God, I don't even want to tell you how long I've been at it. So we've been doing this a while. But not only are the elements of onstage presence the parts of AndWar International, but AndWar International is more than that. Suppose you don't really want to be on the runway, on the stage. You want to be behind the camera. You want to be like Raynor, who is the creative director. He comes up with these amazing video presentations and all these fantastic graphics. And suppose you want to be like Jerome, who is an amazing fashion photographer. His eye is just really something that I have admired since he was a child. You know, if those are the things that you want to do. Suppose you want to be a makeup artist. Suppose you want to be a fashion designer. And all of those things, all of those elements are part of this industry. And AndWar International represents every element of it. So that gives you some insight into what we are. We're not just standing in front of the camera, helping you to be beautiful, but we're also behind it, creating the garments, creating the styling, creating the videos, creating the portraits, creating everything, every element of this thing that happens. The whole production of the pageant is done by AndWar International. So just so you kind of understand what it is that we do. Any questions about AndWar at the moment? I'll be happy to respond to them.
All right.
Okay, yes,
Just,
Israel?
sorry.
Hold on, Gladstone. Israel first. Yes.
My question is, who was your first queen and what made you choose her?
Okay. My first queen was Kimberly Dawkins. What made me choose her was her amazing intellect, right? I must say that to me, I mean, she was not the most beautiful girl on the night, but she was certainly the most intriguing and the most interesting girl on the night.
And the most
And,
packaged girl.
and the most what?
And the most what?
Packaged.
Packaged.
She was sorry. She was, she was nodding heads in every department, meaning not only her intellectual capability, just her camera. She had a presence, she had an aura about her. It was really exciting to watch, and she was prepared. That girl knew
Yes.
the question anyway it was flung at her, because she was just ready that night.
Her
Right.
confidence was on fire. That's what I
Yes.
loved about her.
Yes.
She wasn't cocky. She wasn't flashy. When she came out, you saw the determination in her eyes, in her face,
Yes.
and she
Yes.
came to win, and she won.
Yes.
She slayed it. She
She
came
slayed.
out, yes, she came out with that. And throughout the competition, with her training and everything, she put her all in it. And she was ready.
Yeah.
Even when
Yeah.
she wasn't ready, she was ready because she made herself ready. She
Yeah.
put her all in it, and on the night, everything came together, and she slayed.
She
Yeah.
slayed.
Yep.
She slayed. I
Can
mean,
I
every
Yep.
just
direction. Yeah.
can I
Somebody
just
else is speaking? Yes. Go ahead,
yes,
Jerome.
I just add, people, I'm also from that year. I'm a product of Andrew and Miss Raquel Chin. And a little Jerome, of course, because I remain
Mean yourself, yes.
to who I am. I remember I was in that year of that pageant, and my story is that while I always wanted to become, a model, I always wanted to be behind the camera also. And compared with intellectual capability, I knew that separate and apart from wherever I place in this pageant tonight, I wanted to be a part of this, because it just felt so like it was something that you wanted to be a part of. And I remember I got the opportunity to take the pictures. um, and Kimberly, the winner of that year, was somebody who made me want to take even more greater pictures, because she was just that amazing. And the photos that I was taking of her, even to this day, they're, on my phone. And I just remember how I was telling Andrew, I don't know if Andrew remember, when my photos went international and they were being broadcasted all over, I was just like, yeah, I'm that guy. And so I'm just saying that to
So you
say,
slayed too.
huh?
You slayed as well.
Yes, I in front of the camera and I'm behind the camera. So
Yeah,
that
What
was,
was her
thoroughly,
name
so thoroughly
again?
both.
her name is Kimberly Dawkins, and she placed, I think, in the top 20 of or top 25 of Miss Supranational. But she was really, really good. So I was just telling you that little part, guys, to
Oh,
tell you that
wow.
I'm not the marketing manager, trained and whatever. So I'm saying to you guys that take this opportunity as something to propel you to a greater purpose. Uh, I will also add, guys, that I'm the one that introduced Reynard to Andrew. But yeah,
You know,
how
yes.
great.
But
I'm just
and let me add on to that as well. Israel, who is on the call as well, was in the top 8 of
yes,
this international
International
um,
competition.
last December. So
Yes.
we've really been able to produce some top tier queens.
Yes.
And we're looking to continue the streak and bring forth some top tier kings as well.
Good. All right. Israel, your hand is still up. Do you have another question?
No, I want you guys to elaborate a little bit more.
Well, we will. But Gladstone had a question, so I'm going to let him ask his question, and then we can take it from there.
All right. Say you go, or say a male goes, how would we transition from being in front of the camera to behind? How would we, you know, channel that creative talent? Because, or better question, and let me just put this, let me direct it, sorry, to Jerome. How did you complete the transition?
All right. I think, thank you for that, Gladstone. I really appreciate that question. I think my initiative, my ability to take initiative never changed. I think when I got into the competition, I didn't just come seeking to wanting to be in front of the camera. I was just a sponge. Like I was just a child in my little playpen. Everything that I loved right where I wanted it. There was fashion, there was modeling, there was movies, there were both presentation, and I was just right in the middle. Um, when that opportunity came, I'm a salesperson, so I sold, I pitched to Andrew, and he was like, "Yeah." And then when I got that first yes, and he really believed in me. I think that's something that I can say. I say front of him, face and behind him. He believed in me, and when I saw that somebody actually really wanted me to do my best, I said, okay, there must be something within me. So I went ahead. I got certifications that I needed, and I worked alongside the company while I was learning a bunch of other things on the other side. But one thing that never changed, and I think that's a thing that I can accredit to this transition, it's working with a beautiful team of individuals and also never changing my ability to be initiative based, because we are the ones that create opportunities in Jamaica. There isn't a lot of financially secured opportunities as it relates to this type of thing. Well, this company, let me say that, nothing, sorry about that, Andrew. But what will be the key factor in anything that any one of you guys will do is how am I able to make an impact wherever I am. Once you can figure that out, skewing in that, become a lot more practice trained, offer yourself, even not voluntarily first, offer yourself voluntarily, learn, soak up what you can learn, and that will help you in the transition. And just remain open and calm and be humble. Your time will come. All right?
And trust me,
Thank
Jerome
you.
has demonstrated time and time again that, because his go-getter attitude is probably even stronger than mine. And I've seen so much potential from him. And I know that push comes to shove, he has AndWar's best interests at heart. He's very hardworking, and he's been able to be a very instrumental what would you call it, element in where AndWar International is today.
Thank you,
So
Ron.
it doesn't necessarily just stop at pageantry for any one of you. Whatever skills you have or drive that we probably see that we can help to nurture, because that's a part of our mission here, because we want to develop people into becoming ambassadors, building them, pardon me for saying it, but into making them into the best versions of themselves, really. But yeah, as cliche as it sounds.
Trust me, that is one thing that does not become cliche. If anything, this is something rare, I will say, to that. Not many persons are willing to build people into their best versions. A lot of people are looking to make replicas of something else. So I thank you, gentlemen, for this initiative itself and this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome, Gladstone. And we are looking, we're open to collaboration. We've seen some signs of it already, and all I can say to you guys is just keep up the good. At the end of the day, your work will speak for you. Whatever you do, whatever you have to bring to the table, it will speak. Each one of you guys created individually with special gifts, and you just have to learn what are gifts, and make it your own. and stand out using whatever that is, because that is how you separate yourself, not only in this competition, but in the race of life, in finding who you are as a person. All right.
Very, very well said. And you know, part of this journey, you all remember one of the first assignments you got was to identify what your superpower is, right? And it's no accident. We are very deliberate about helping to grow you, right? And helping you to think deeply about who you are as people and where it is you're supposed to go. You're all very young and you have a lot of living to do. And many of the things you're doing now, you're doing for the very first time in your lives. And that's okay. But we want to help you get there. And so that's why we drive you hard and we make sure that you think, and that, you know, if you make mistakes, we're there to help pick you up off the ground. We're fine with that. This is a safe space to do that, to make mistakes, because we're here to help you. That's why we're here. Okay. I'm going to move now to talking about your assignment for this week. Right. This assignment is really a three-part assignment. So you are given the first leg of it to do this week, which is to do a description in opposite. So the gentlemen were asked to describe what their view of femininity is, and the young ladies were asked to identify their view of masculinity, and to use the format for answering questions, because we want you to learn how to do that. And you should learn how to use that method for everything that you're doing on stage, whether it's words matter, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in a minute, or whether it is about a question that you could be asked on stage. So, as I've shared with you, there are 4 steps to answering a question. The first is to either rephrase the question or to create an open statement that sets up your answer, right? That's the first thing you want to do. The second thing is to provide a relevant example of whatever it is that you're about to talk about. Then provide an opposing opinion, because the opposing opinion gives you the appearance that you have a global view of things, that you're not just one-sided. You understand this side and you understand that side. That's what you're demonstrating by doing those things. And the last thing is to deliver your personal opinion about whatever it is, whether you agree with the right or the left, or with neither of the sides. You get an opportunity to say what is in your own brain, your own mind, your own heart, right? If you follow that strategy, you almost cannot lose. The best example of that was Israel Harrison last year. This woman was amazing, okay? She followed those steps. She got up on that stage, and I'm telling you, Israel Harrison was almost named Queen Supreme, okay?
But even on the international stage,
and
like, I was nervous, but she had it. And like,
yes,
trust me.
If you all listen to Israel's response on that international stage, Israel could very easily have won that competition. In fact, when we were all sitting there in the middle of the night watching that competition, one of the queens said, Israel went over there and won the damn thing, because Israel's answer was that good, right? So this training that we're giving you is, I'll say, please embrace it. Listen, we're not going to pat ourselves on the back like that, right? We are telling you to embrace it because it works. It really and truly works. I don't know if you all have any questions for me at the moment about your assignment for this week. Remember that it is a 3-part assignment, so part 2 will be coming in the next day or so. You will get instructions as to what else to do with the same assignment. Any questions? Yes, Gladstone.
Just one question. So for the assignment itself, you had mentioned, that it should be 60 seconds? Is it that we're going for exactly 60 or
No,
we're shooting
no, no,
within
no.
55 to 60?
Okay. So during this time when you all are doing your training, I want you to practice. What's more important to me is you're practicing the method than the length of time. Okay. So right now I've given you 60 seconds, so you don't give me 5 minutes of answer. I can't take
Oh no.
Okay. So I'm not going to penalize you at this point for giving me more than 60 seconds that I've asked you for. As you approach the finals, when I tell you give me 60 seconds, I mean give me 60 seconds. Okay.
And if you can try to keep it 40.
Right. Okay.
But just also one more clarification. So with regards to, you know, moving closer to the finals itself, I know that we'll be getting more practice on, you know, the actual time span itself. But for this particular assignment, would it be, so say we fall 50, 55, would that be acceptable? Or is it that we should
Up to, I will accept up to a minute and a half. So you can go from 0 to a minute and a half and I'm good. Right? Or thereabout, right? I mean, I dwell in the realm of reasonableness. I'm not looking for perfection at this point. You all are just learning, right? So I'm not expecting perfection right now. Yes, Mr. Black.
That would have been very helpful to see prior, because I made the video over 30 times and I had to delete it because it exceeded a minute. So I had to be cut and pasted my video to try to make it a minute.
Well, I'm glad. I appreciate the effort, sir, because eventually this is good discipline for when you get to the point where what the time says is what the time says.
About that too.
And the good thing is that you'll know what fluff to cut when the time comes, and that practice will become inherent in you to the point where it will just become so second nature that, you know, you already know where to cut the fluff and, you know, how to best get to the point and
exactly.
Mr. Harris, the only thing I will add is, has everyone learned how to answer a question?
I gave some directions in the instructions of the assignment, and we'll see how well people have been able to follow those instructions. I believe that everybody on this call is intelligent.
Yes.
You all can read and you
Some
all have
persons
brains.
have experience.
And I'm sorry?
I was saying that some people have prior experience.
Yes, and some people have prior experience too. So I don't think the instructions are that difficult. So I think that people can make their way through. And again, this is the learning part where you get to make those kinds of mistakes, and it's okay. We're here to teach you. And so feel free to do your thing, and we will guide you as you go along, right? As you saw with the photographs, I wrote specific instructions for every single one of you, right? And it's important that you read for everybody so that you don't make the mistake I just told somebody else not to do. So go back and read the instructions and the guidance I put in those photographs, because some of you may make those same mistakes and you need to avoid them. So read what I wrote for every single person, please.
Just a quick note, Andrew, because I was late, I kind of missed that. Were the photos sent back to our emails?
Actually, you were probably not present, so I will send it to yourself. Well, actually, I'll just resend it back to the group so that anybody who may have missed it can get access to it right away. Okay.
All right. Thanks so much.
No problem. All right. Any further questions? All righty then, hearing none, I'm going to offer an opportunity for, is Raquel Chinston on the phone here? No, she may have left. Any comments from Mr. Allen, Reynard, anything else you want to say before we say farewell?
I think I've covered whatever I needed to cover at this, well, up until this point. So no question, nothing to add at this point.
All right, no worries. Israel, is there anything you'd like to say before we say farewell?
No, no, I heard a lot of wonderful things already. Actually enjoyed this meeting, so that's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Madame. Jerome, anything else you'd like to say before we say farewell?
Yeah, I would just like to say, guys, you have what you need to be brilliant in this world. Take this opportunity with AndWar, one with grace, and just know that you're worth it. Don't compare yourself to anybody, and just get the thing done. Wherever you place in this competition, you are supposed to be there. What I'll say is just how you deal with that will help you to become a better version of yourself. So wherever that is, you guys know that there is purpose and possibilities in wherever that is. And just do with that in becoming the best version of yourself. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you very much. I guess one final thing, I don't know if all of you have gone ahead and done your transfers yet. It's really important that you do that because we need to start paying the tailor and seamstresses who are making your clothes. And it's really important that you make sure that those things are covered. So please make sure to get that in. The second thing is I'm sorry?
Could you just update me on what transfers you're speaking of? I'm not sure.
So your registration transfers. So yours is already taken care of, I believe. So that's done for you. Others have not made their payments yet. So they need to address all of that, right? And then your sponsors are also going to make a payment on your behalf as well. So that needs to be done. And the sponsors payments are really important because those payments are used to make your sashes, or your stoles. So as you know, those things are not free, so we have to get them ordered and made. And so for those of you who already have sponsors, please send to me directly the correct name and spelling of your sponsor, right? So that I can put it on the list so that they can be sent to the printer to be made. Okay. All righty then. Any further questions or comments before we say farewell, everyone? All right. This was lovely.
I want to thank everybody who made the effort to be on the call tonight. Thank you so much for joining and participating.
All right. Blessings, everybody. Good night. If AndWar folks could stay on for a minute, I'll be grateful, please. Thank you. Yes, good night, everybody.
All right. Good night. Good night, Andrew. Night, Jerome. Night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Should I stay on?
No, Miss Dowdy. Good night. Unless you're giving me some dinner.
Should I stay on?
Yes, Israel, you can stay on, please. Thank you.
Hello, am I supposed to stay on?
Yes, Israel, stay on for a few minutes. Thank you. Yes. All right, let me see here now.
Hello, are you breaking up?
No, not breaking up.
We're just
okay.
Okay, so I had to remove those people who were stuck, so that's all right. Okay. All right, Miss Israel, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent.
No, I
Um,
shouldn't. I shouldn't lie. I shouldn't lie.
okay,
Um, I was doing better gradually as the day progresses. Yeah.
okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, all right. So what I'm truly concerned about is making sure that your regional preparations are going along in a way that makes sense. The next major event for you all is your conference of sashes and stoles. In terms of how that's going, Israel, are you okay with where you are in that process, or is there something I can help to do? Is there something else that we need to know about?
Oh, yeah. I think I told you guys, but I'm going to tell you guys again. You remember I was telling you about this girl that was doing the documentary, and she goes to UTech.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so she attends UTech. So I she's also doing a short film with a girl called Regina Dixon as the main actor. She's if Michael was here, he would tell you that he knows her, and I think some of the others know her as well. So
Mm-hmm.
she's supposed to play an autistic character. So I am one of the producers, and I'm also, I guess, a part of the writers' room.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So
Mhm.
she asked me from last year, and I told her that when I come back to America, all right, I'm gonna be available. So it was I am available now. So I tell her that as soon as I feel better, so I go to a school and we do some shots and stuff. We play chess, we test theories, and she does photography as well. And so
Okay.
this assignment is for her professor, who's a film teacher. So he's helping his brilliant film student. So yeah, it's a go there sometimes. I didn't go this week because I didn't have the fair. So she said she would help out with the fair the next time. So
Okay,
I
good.
wanted to use two birds. A cycle. Two.
To kill two birds with
two-
one stone? Yes.
yes. Yes. So I wanted to do that. Being physically at the place, I think it's sometimes better than talking on the phone.
Yes.
Especially when you're talking about space, person space.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Good for
yeah,
you.
I felt like I was a bit behind because of my situation that I can't control. I feel like it kind of hold me back sometimes, but if I reach out to you guys and I tell you, then it's better.
Okay. So Israel, are you, just for my own knowledge, are you looking for employment or are you not seeking employment? Would you
So
like to be employed? Let me ask it this way.
I would like to be employed, but I don't want to lie to my employers about my physical condition. Um, yes, I would like to be employed. What kind of employment?
So I mean, we can't have that conversation here or now, but it's good for me
Okay.
to know. Oh, well, you know what I mean? I need to stop recording. I'm sorry about that. Well, let me do that right now.
Stop.